Who created the Source? The answer is easy, folks. The metaphysical entity made up of pure power and divine consciousness was created by none other than the legendary writer and artist Jack Kirby. He was the brilliant mind behind the Source Wall, the Fourth World, and the New Gods. The Source first appeared in New Gods issue number 1 in February 1971. Today, let us delve into the classic lore of the Source and the Source Wall in the DC universe. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. May the Source be with you. The Source can be perceived as the consciousness inherent to the DC universe, offering a secular parallel to concepts such as Buddha nature, Purusha, or the Presence. The Source has been predominantly portrayed as a male counterpart and a partner to Mother Entity. Being linked to the Presence, the Source originated with the emergence of the universe approximately 19 billion years in the past. It operates as the origin from which all existence flows. Moreover, it is perceived as a foundational concept that encompasses the entirety of duality. It encompasses life and anti-life, good and evil, upward and downward, inward and outward, black and white, all simultaneously. This makes it the supreme notion that remains unparalleled, undivided, and unconfined. Just another brick in the Source Wall. Mainly associated with the New Gods, the Source is thought to be the point of origin for the God Wave, a phenomenon believed to have granted the gods of the DC universe their divine capacities. Furthermore, it seems to be involved in bestowing superpowers upon denizens of the DC universe, especially those that challenge the principles of physics. Positioned at the outer reaches of the known universe and the Promethean galaxy, the Source Wall serves as a sentinel to the Source itself, capturing anyone who dares to venture past its bounds. The ones who dared were the Promethean giants, who now stay still in the graveyard at the edge of the universe, dubbed as the Source Wall. Within the pages of New Gods issue number 1, it was revealed that they were, in truth, magnified and imprisoned in stone due to their curiosity to know what lay beyond. What's even more unsettling is that the towering forms within the framework retained their life force, compelled to peer into the boundless void of space for endless time. This eerie countenance serves as a warning emblem for those who dare to delve into its mysteries. The knowledge lies in pieces. While looking into why the New Gods had died, Metron met an aspect of the Source. The Source admitted that it was involved in the depths because it wanted to make a new fifth world. It didn't like how things went in the previous third and fourth worlds with the old and new gods. It explained that the strongest old gods from the third world attacked it into different parts. One of these parts turned into the anti-life entity. To make things right, the Source got rid of the old gods and brought the new gods into existence. But because it was weaker, the New Gods had flaws and didn't follow the Source's plans well. They could only understand puzzling messages that a hand without a body wrote. The Source in action. The Source aimed to reunite with its counterpart. It used Alexander Luthor and Rip Hunter to create 52 worlds in the multiverse, aiding the reunion. Through the Infinity Man, it assassinated the New Gods and stored their souls in a second Source Wall. Mr. Miracle wielded the anti-life equation. Using these tools, the Source reached the main Source Wall and rejoined its anti-life counterpart. Most New Gods were gone except the big baddie of DC, Darkseid. The Source then confronted Darkseid on Apocalypse to complete its mission. Darkseid tapped into the power of New God's souls in the second Source Wall, making him as strong as the Source. Superman intervened, allowing the Source to use its secret weapon, Orion, who had similar power. Orion defeated Darkseid. The Source merged New Genesis and Apocalypse into a single planet, each side resembling one world. Afterward, the Source informed Superman its work was done and it would leave this realm. However, this encounter with the entity was considered just an aspect, a sliver of the Source. The actual secret was yet to be revealed. The truth is out there. During the Rebirth event, it was revealed that over 20 billion years ago, the Source initiated the creation of the Super Celestials, a collective containing Perpetua, aimed at constructing multiverses. To oversee the activities of the Super Celestials, the Source also designed judges, entrusted with the task of assessing every iteration of the multiverse and dismantling it if it didn't meet the mark. The DC multiverse was created by Perpetua herself in the Forge in the 6th dimension. It was was her hand that the Guardian Krona saw when he tapped into the creation of the universe. All the forces of good, like the Speed Force, the emotional spectrum, and the forces of justice were actually the connective energies of the universe, and the forces of selfishness, cruelty, and destruction were the crisis energy. Perpetua was supposed to create a universe with connective energy, but instead, she created the original DC multiverse with crisis energy so that it would live on through all the crises by holding onto the multiversal memory. Perpetua had 3 sons. Monitor was responsible for averting crises and overseeing civilization's advancement. Anti-Monitor, who was tasked with maintaining lifelessness within the boundaries of creation, and World Forger, who was entrusted with the role of bringing life into existence. Crime and punishment. Perpetua hesitated to put her own children at risk of being erased by the Source through cosmic judgment. Prompting her to embrace a protective role as a mother and take control of the situation, she devised the plan to overcome the judges, her siblings, and even the Source itself by tapping into the latent power of the 7 concealed energies of creation: Speed Force, Still Force, Life Force, Death Force, Sage Force, Strength Force, and the invisible emotional ultraviolet spectrum. The objective of this strategy was to assemble an invincible army of apex predators. Upon learning of this plan, the Monitor divulged the information to his brothers, who were apprehensive about facing retribution from the Source for their mother's actions. To alert the judges of the Source about their mother's intentions, the Monitor employed a cosmic tuning fork. When Perpetua discovered her son's betrayal, she mobilized her army to confront them. However, one of the judges, the Cosmic Raptor, triumphed over her entire army and subsequently raised a connective energy wall to confine her along with 6 of the 7 forces, excluding the Speed Force. This wall later came to be known as the Source Wall, formed the very edges of the DC multiverse and cut it off from the Source energy. The Dark Multiverse and the other threats lie beyond the Source Wall. The cosmic prison that encompasses all. Functioning as a boundary, the Source Wall separated the well-known DC multiverse from the Source. The creation of the Source Wall rendered the Anti-Monitor purposeless, as it effectively maintained a separation between life and the antimatter universe, guaranteeing its absence of life. Consequently, the Anti-Monitor experienced an enduring lack of purpose, resulting in his growing resentment towards his brother, the Monitor. The Monitor's ability to observe the cycles of civilizations, which was far from monotonous, fueled the Anti-Monitor's bitterness. This animosity eventually drove the Anti-Monitor towards adapting an evil disposition. Please be aware, folks, that although the map displays 52 universes, originally an infinite number of parallel universes existed. In the events of Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Anti-Monitor destroyed most of these universes, leaving only one behind. Yet this single reality proved unstable, leading it to split into 52 parallel universes, each vibrating at a unique frequency. This event marked the beginning of the New 52. Moreover, a solitary Source Wall occupies the same spatial position across all universes, although with varying frequencies. The gap between universes is termed the bleed, and traveling between these universes weakens the Source Wall incrementally. This clarifies why the Monitor holds a negative view of their inter-universal travel. Prison Break. During the end of Dark Knight's Metal event, the Source Wall broke and the entire DC multiverse, which was just a drop of water, was hurled into the turbulent sea of the DC Omniverse. Being from beyond the Source Wall took notice of the DCU and sought to decimate the same. The crack in the Source Wall also freed Perpetua, and she came back with a vengeance. Her intention was to destroy the current multiverse and create a new multiverse with no memory. That new multiverse will be self-sustaining and would keep on running in a self-renewing loop. She reached out from her cosmic cage and recruited the Batman, who laughs at Barbados, by whispering to them and giving them a new agenda, furthering her purpose. But that is a story for another time and space. Long live the King. Following the disbandment of the Green Lantern Corps and his assimilation of the Godstorm's energy, John Stewart's ability surged to an unmatched level, essentially raising him to a divine stature. As the immense power flowed within him, a cryptic voice reached out to him, asserting, "You knew me well, John. Everyone did." And before John Stewart stood the most tangible embodiment of the Source, none other than Jack the King Kirby himself. And despite his skepticism, John was urged forward by the Source, which persisted. Every aspect of existence acknowledged my presence. So folks, DC Comics has made it canon that the Source is none other than Jack Kirby himself. Marvelous verdict. And that's all for today, folks. If the Source ever lets us know any more secrets about itself, our channel will be back to explore it for you. If you liked the video, let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Keep on liking, sharing, and subscribing, and stay connected to the Source.